Pelican Field at Fauquier High School in Warrenton, Virginia. Welcome to tonight's broadcast of high school football as the visiting Blue Devils take on the Fauquier Falcons. I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk behind the camera, and newcomer Nick Morris back in the studio of the Culpeper Media Network, combining to bring you the exciting action tonight of Blue Devils football. Well, Steve, these two teams have both played just one game. Let's start with the Blue Devils. 2 weeks ago, they played the Eastern View Cyclones in the annual Cannonball Classic and lost. Then last week, they had their bye week, so they're coming in fresh, a little bit rested. Fauquier, on the other hand, coming out with a huge win over Liberty last week in the annual Bird Bowl. Fauquier's first since 2002. And here's the thing. They are led by Culpeper alumnus first-year coach Donnie Downs. So tonight's matchup creates some interesting anecdotal information, don't you think?
It sure does. They're going to pit a former Culpeper player and coach who's now taking over the reins here at Fauquier. And he's destined to do big things here. He wants to develop a winning program here. They haven't had that much lately, and they're really high on him as to maybe he can get it done. He has studied under some good coaches, and he knows how to run a team. So Culpeper's going to have their hands full with Fauquier tonight.
Well, we got a lot to talk about in terms of how these two teams match up tonight. One of the things I want to say, first of all, as you look at your team captains and the coin toss coming up momentarily, is, again, for Liberty, or make that Fauquier. They had a big win over Liberty last week in the annual Bird Bowl, and Steve, it really wasn't close. And what I've read about that game is what really stood out for Fauquier was the dominant play of the defensive line and the play of Amari Martin at quarterback, who won the starting job in that position this year over last year's starter, Ben Nolan. So then, you factor in Culpeper and, the woes they had against Eastern View. And there were some good things taken from that game. As we get a chance to talk about that tonight, one of the things that I think was a positive takeaway from that game they lost to Eastern View was really the play of Garrett Damewood and some others. When they got the ball to him and they went to the outside and tried to get the edge, they had some success. But here's the thing. Running that triple option, Jeremiah Johnson has to have good blocking. And as the coach has said, if you have to at least get in the way of people. And if the Fauquier defensive line was that dominant last week, this could be a long night for Jeremiah Johnson and company.
It sure could, Mark, because that was the weak point against Culpeper versus Eastern View. Eastern View dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage, and of course, they won big. Fauquier's strength is their D-line. They're experienced, and they're going to come after it. And Culpeper's got a young offensive line. So it's going to be I want to see how far Culpeper's come with these last, with their open date last week. Have they shored up some of the holes that Eastern View took advantage of, and see if they can, take care of business against Fauquier here?
Well, Culpeper is going to receive the opening kickoff here momentarily. We'll get a chance to look at that Blue Devil offense and some of the things that perhaps they've worked on in that bye week and had a chance to sort of measure how they did against Eastern View and how they're going to take on Fauquier tonight, which will be kicking off to start this game. And I just want to say, Steve, I'm really sort of digging these red uniforms of Fauquier. They're decked out tonight in the solid red, and the white numbers are really contrasted well. And it looks like number 17, Hector Villatoro, is the place kicker. He's going to tee it up for the Falcons. He'll be kicking off here shortly. Blue Devils will be receiving. How important, Steve, is it that the Blue Devils shine on special teams?
Well, it's very important, and they got to get a good start here to this football game. They've got to try to see and play to their strengths, which is getting the ball on the outside. Jeremiah Johnson is going to have to play a lot better than he did against Eastern View, and if this triple option is to work.
Here is Villatoro's kick, and we are underway. This one will go over the head of the receiver there and out of bounds. And so the Blue Devils will go on offense from the 25 here to restart things. So we'll try to pick up your starters as they come onto the field. Some of the names we expect to mention, of course, for the Blue Devils: Riley Lentz, Garrett Damewood, Caleb Green has been a star of the last 2 seasons, Jeremiah Johnson, J.Q. Williams, Jossie Shiflett, some of the guys that will be handling the football tonight for the Blue Devils. Who'll be starting, I said, from the 25. I meant to say the 20. And let's see, of course, this means Jeremiah Johnson is the quarterback. He's got Riley Vineyard behind him. Let's see how the Falcons line up. This looks like you're looking at that set. They've got the 4 down linemen there, Steve. And they're going to get the ball early to Garrett Damewood. He makes a cut. We got a penalty flag to start things here. That usually doesn't bode well. But they did get the ball to Garrett Damewood. I think they were thinking the same thing I am. What did you see on that play?
Yeah, well, it didn't develop very well, and he had to Fauquier kind of closed it down, and with their good D-line play, but it's going to be holding. It's going to be holding against the Blue Devils, and see, that's what they don't want to start out with. But, you know, Mark, talking about the uniforms, I'm so used to seeing Fauquier in the gray pants. You know,
right, yeah.
So they're you can definitely see. But, see, this is not what Culpeper wants to do. See, this is the mistakes that hurt a team, even though it's right off the, they get the ball on the opening kickoff, get it 20, but now they're operating way deep in their own territory.
Right, moved it back 10 yards to the 10-yard line where it's going to be 1st and 20. So already the Blue Devils sting themselves. That's Caleb Green in motion. He gets the toss. Here's Green. He's going to be wrestled down on a solo tackle for a huge loss on the play. Making the tackle, number 7, Tyrese Wanko.
Right there, Mark, again, Caleb Green couldn't get the corner because what was happening was the offensive line broke down. They didn't have any blocks. And so Culpeper, I think, is going to have to learn to throw the football.
Yeah, let's check the spot here. It was a huge loss. It's at the 5-yard line. Wow. They've got to get to the 30 for a first down. It's 2nd down and 25 here. Straight ahead they go, trying to get a little breathing room to get out to the 10. Coming away with the football was a Falcon player, but the ball was whistled dead.
Right.
So not the kind of start for the Blue Devils you were looking for, of course. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 24 from the 6-yard line.
And again, you look at that defense line, they look like they're pretty athletic up front there, and they can move around. They're big and they're strong, and the offensive line for Culpeper has got to realize that, and they've got to be able to sustain their blocks.
Well, this is a big 3rd down early on for both teams because the Blue Devils need a little breathing room here. You don't want to be punting the ball deep in your own end zone. He's going to throw it. Johnson, he's picked off at the 25-yard line. On the return here is number 9 of Fauquier. Ball looked like it was loose, and Riley Vineyard came up with it, but it looks like they're going to rule it down. So on their interception, that was Justin Clark picking off Jeremiah Johnson's first toss of the game.
And Mark, I hate to say that looked like that was doomed right from the snap. When he went to throw it, he overthrew the receiver by a good 5 to 6 yards and threw it right into the safety for Fauquier. And now Culpeper is now on the defense here.
With Fauquier having the ball at the 13-yard line. Amari Martin is the quarterback. Handoff, running back here. They're going to stop stuffing near the line of scrimmage. That was the ball carrier, Aaron Lewis, number 5. He's likely going to get the bulk of the rushing load tonight for Fauquier.
Yeah, but it's like I said, this is not what Culpeper wanted to do to start out this game. They turnover and penalties.
All right, here's 2nd down. Handoff Lewis. He shrugs the first tackler. Coming up to meet him is Riley Lentz. And let's see who else is in there. Number 8 for Culpeper. That is Griffin Tanner. So this is a situation where the Blue Devil defense, Steve, if they can come up big, they can certainly help their offensive teammates out.
Yeah, this is going to be a big play right here. See if they can hold them.
3rd and 9. Opening minutes here this first quarter. Fauquier, Amari Martin, is the quarterback. He wears jersey number 1. Direct snap to Lewis, and the ball is loose. It's picked up by the Blue Devils, and they force a turnover as well. Coming up with it for Culpeper was number 11, R.J. Uribe. So turnabout fair play, I think, is what they call that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that was a gift right there from Fauquier to Culpeper. Now let's see if Culpeper can do something with it. They didn't look too good on the first offensive series, so we're going to see what they can do, because they got away with one right now with that turnover by Fauquier.
This is Culpeper's second possession. The first one started on their own 20, and the first penalty, and then in the first play from scrimmage, they had the holding penalty, so they were pushed back to the 10, and things went awry, and they had the interception. But then Culpeper's defense comes back with a turnover, recovers the fumble, gives the ball back to their offensive teammates, starting at the own 25-yard line. And there's a nice run off the right side. This is Riley Vineyard picking up big yardage, got in that Falcon secondary, crossed the Culpeper 45 out to about the 47. Steve, 22 yards on the carry by Riley Vineyard.
And that's Marquette blocking up front right there, and they executed the play very well, and Riley Vineyard did the rest. Right on just a short pitch handoff, but he got some good blocking up front. With this type of triple option offense, you don't need to knock the defender back. You just got to get in the way and just let your running backs get the corner.
Here's Johnson. Quick toss, Dalton, far side. Dalton down the far sidelines picks up good yardage. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by localsportshistory.com. That's the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at localsportshistory.com. Blue Devils, off that pass to Dalton Butler, have moved into Fauquier territory at the 46. And we've got 8:11 to play here in the first quarter. Clock at the moment stopped. Second down and about 4 here. Riley Vineyard, the ball carrier, over the left side. And he protects the ball well as he picks up a first down. Going to get inside that Fauquier 40 to about the 39. Steve, going to try to get these spots in. So this broadcast brought to you in part by Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Well, Steve, I know you like the running game when you see runs like that by Riley Vineyard.
Yeah, I do. And Mark, this is what Coach Eric Sherry was looking for too. You're going to have to get mean. You can't keep getting smacked in the face and not respond.
Vineyard again. He lost the ball. It was stolen from him on the hit. Second turnover of the game by the Blue Devils, and this one was stolen by Eli Beinecker.
Mark, let's go to replay on that, and we can see it right here on this handoff. And it looked like, the Fauquier defender just took it right out of Riley Vineyard's hand.
Yeah.
And therefore able to corral it. And now it's 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
So 2 turnovers now by the Blue Devils, and the Falcons back in business. Excellent field position at their own 47. All right, that means Amari Martin and company, the junior quarterback. Lewis, the ball carrier, straight ahead, gets behind the blockers, picks up about 5 yards on first down. This broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 540-547-3673. Second down and about 6 here. The Falcons have it at the Blue Devil 49. This is Lewis again, the ball carrier. They wrap him up after about a 3-yard pickup. Number 8, Griffin Tanner, in on the tackle for Culpeper. Ball now at the Culpeper 46. So he picked up 3 yards. And we've got a 3rd and 3 here. 6:35 to play. First quarter action. So far scoreless. Fauquier has turned it over once, and Culpeper has turned the ball over twice. And now Fauquier looks at a 3rd and 3 in Culpeper territory. Here's a direct snap from that Wildcat formation, Stephen. They used that last week against Liberty, so that's something that the Blue Devil defense certainly had to prepare for this week, as the snap was to Ben Nolan, who was last year's starting quarterback.
Yeah, it was, and he got the first down, too.
So, just because Nolan lost his starting position to Amari Martin doesn't mean there's no way. There's still he can't contribute to the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So it's 1st and 10 Falcons. Now at the Blue Devil 41. Here's Martin. He's going to throw. Here comes the pressure. Got a receiver out there. Makes a one-handed catch. And that was number 14, Joseph Jocks Guzman.
But it was a great tackle by Caleb Green. He had him right there one-on-one and was able to bring him down for, only about a modest gain. But again, it looks what Fauquier's trying to do is they're trying to, use the passing game onto the edges and see if they can get something going on there and then come back with a run right up in the trenches.
Picked up about 4 yards. You mentioned a good tackle by Caleb Green. Makes it 2nd and 6 Falcons from the Blue Devil 37. Amari Martin is the quarterback. Here's the snap. Dodges one defender. Throws on the run. This one caught by number 11, who breaks the tackle at the goal line and into the end zone. Bo Green. Touchdown Fauquier. And it comes with 5:04 to play in this first quarter, and the Falcons draw first blood.
And Mark, they drew first blood because Culpeper, I thought, had him stopped.
Yep. Riley
Vineyard in the back. And the official looked like he was going to throw the flag for horse collar, but the Fauquier back eluded him, and then just there he was, being able to get the ball behind the Culpeper defense for a touchdown.
Looks like they may line up to go for 2. Or no, that's they're just going to fake that and then line up as for the point after. And this is Hector Villatoro on for the point after. The holder is Tyrese Quanco, and had a bad snap, and this one was botched, so point after touchdown fails. Falcons up 6-0 with 5:04 to play. So, Steve, where was the breakdown on that Blue Devil defense on that scoring drive, do you think?
Where it was is the breakdown was that everyone was ball watching, basically in defense. They're watching with the football, weren't paying attention to the back behind, the defense, and it was just a very good play by Fauquier.
All right, well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. We have 5:04 to play here in the first quarter. Falcons on top, 6-0. Mentioned that they were winners last week in the Bird Bowl against Liberty. That was a big win. Score was 35-14. Were you talking about some technical difficulties, Steve?
Yes, I was. Well, we hope to get them
rectified
and corrected here, but we're having a little bit of technical difficulties back home.
All right, here is Villatoro's kick. This one looks like it's going to be returned once he can get a handle on it at the 15-yard line. He dropped it, fixed it up, tackled immediately, held on to the ball. I believe that was Khalid Murray. Let's check the number on that, Steve. 20, yeah, it was 26.
Yeah.
28 or 13. All right, so 28 has been Khalid Murray, and he has also worn number 13.
And see, right now, Culpeper just doesn't look like they got it together, Mark. Some kids are trying more, others aren't, and they've got to be all on the same page. And and if you're going to make mistakes, Fauquier's going to capitalize on them just like they just did.
And poor field position as the Blue Devils go back on offense. They stick to the run. Straight ahead they go. Vineyard, the ball carrier, out to about the 14. It'll give him 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. All right. So it was a pickup of 3. It's 2nd down and 7 now for the Blue Devils from their own 14. They trail 6-0 with 4:21 to play here in this first quarter. We are at Fauquier High School in Warrenton, Virginia. Both teams playing their second game of this regular season. All right, this is Garrett Danewood looking for a little running room, and he won't find any. They're going to wrap him up for a loss near the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long, Steve, like 3rd and 11, I believe. So this is a position that you don't want to see your Blue Devils in.
No, you don't. 3rd and deep, 3rd and 11 deep in your own territory, and basically mark the breakdown up front. The offensive line is breaking down, and Culpeper just doesn't. Their backs just don't have any daylight to run. And you got to give credit though to Fauquier's defensive line. They're getting a good push up the field, and they're wreaking havoc in there on the gaps.
Yeah, and so we talked about how dominant that defensive line was last week in the game. Well, they're going to blow this one dead because the receiver's knee was on the ground. That means you can't advance any farther. And that was number 7, Gavin Alvarado on the reception. We don't know how that might have materialized had his knee not hit the ground, but it did. So it brings up a punting situation for Culpeper, and we'll see.
And now we got to be careful here. Culpeper does, because I think Fauquier is going to try to block this.
I believe the punter is Saul Acevedo, isn't it? Number 63. Let's see who's in there.
Number 6.
Oh, no, it's number 6. That's Jossie Shiflett. Acevedo must handle the place kicking there. So number 6, Shiflett, will kick from about the 1-yard line. Let's check this one. This is going to be returned from about the 45. Nice run back, getting a block, and then Danewood makes the tackle on the return man there, David Mayfield. Excellent return. And so Fauquier back in business, Steve, up 6-0, and they're going to have the ball. Outstanding field position at the Blue Devil 25 when the offense comes back onto the field.
Yeah, but they're going to have Culpeper right now. Mark, they have to find something of an offense. If not, it's going to be a long game for them.
So the Blue Devils have turned the ball over twice and the Falcons once. And now the Falcons are in good position here to extend their lead, barring any miscues. They go to Lewis, Aaron Lewis on the run. And the Blue Devils do a nice job of stringing that one out, bringing up some gray jerseys to make sure this running back Lewis didn't get untracked.
Yeah, the defense is playing pretty decent, but the offense is putting the defense in a heck of a position to defend. When you got the ball, you're turning it over in deep in your own territory. And Fauquier, like I said, with their big offensive line up there, it's they're making holes, and so the defense has got to be able to plug those gaps.
Steve, it does look like the Fauquier line, both offensive and defensive, are pretty formidable. They've got some good size to them, don't they?
They sure do.
2nd down and 8. We've got a whistle and stoppage and a penalty flag down. Really, I think just our second penalty flag of the night. False start against the Falcons will push it back to the 28. To bring up 2nd down and 7 from there. I'm off. 2nd down and 15. Clock running. Minute 40 to play. First quarter action. Falcons 6, Blue Devils nothing. You're at Kellican Field, Fauquier High School. All right, 2nd and long. Here's Martin stepping up, airing it out, downfield, down the middle. Penalty flag comes in. It's going to be a coverage penalty. They're going to probably call it against the Blue Devils.
I would think against the Blue Devils, though. The Blue Devils saying it's offensive pass interference, but
of course they are.
I know.
It wasn't me. It was him. Yeah. But let's see.
Basically, it was holding.
Yeah. And if it is an interference, remember, it's not a spot foul.
No, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference against the defense. Come back and mark it off. Well, let's talk about some other things, Steve. I think the listening or viewing audience would like to know that Fauquier is coached by Donnie Downs. We knew him as Donald Downs when he was in high school. Remember when we referred to him as a magician because he played quarterback and he could really hide the ball well. And he faked me out of my broadcasting socks many times.
He could. He was a good fake ball artist on the field for Culpeper back in the day. And that had to be what?
Back in what was it? I think it was under Coach Martz, wasn't
Yep,
it? Way back in. Let's check the spot here. I believe it's at the 15. It's first down. This is Lewis, the ball carrier. Not too much there. Yet another penalty flag comes in as the Blue Devils stop him for a short gain.
I think we might get a late hitter on Fauquier because the play was over and the lineman came over and gave Riley a shove. See what the call is. I might be wrong. At least it's not the officials. A couple ones going to write everything down.
Well, it looks like they're marking it against the Falcons. Man, the white hat should give us the signal here. Yeah. It is a personal foul.
Yeah, there was that late hit. I saw it. And,
you sure did.
And that's what it is.
So, looking at tonight's game, of course, we mentioned that the Falcons high flying after that big one over Liberty in the annual Bird Bowl. They won for the first time since 2002.
21 years.
21 years, yeah. And then, of course, we mentioned Culpeper had his bye week last week. Well, ball now at the 38 to 39-yard line. Here comes some pressure. Martin stepped away from it, throws short behind the intended receiver there, Joseph Jacques Guzman.
And that was good, dialed up the D right there for Culpeper because he was able to get in there, but was unable to bring the quarterback down. You got to be able to break yourself down coming in there. Don't try to overrun it, just like it's what happened with, I think Riley Vineyard overran the play right there.
Well, you know, and Amari Martin did a pretty good job of
just stepping up.
Yeah, sidestep that would-be tackle. All right, here's second and long for the Falcons. 53 seconds to play. Clock stopped here in the first quarter. 6-0 Falcons. They have second and very long. Martin's going to throw it. He's got a receiver open out there in the flat at the 30, now 25. Inside the 25, down to about the 24. Picked up 15 yards on the play. Going to bring up third down, and let's check the spot. Looks like it's going to be about 10 yards here for a first down.
Yeah, you're right. I think it is too.
From the 24.
And
looks like they've got to get to about the 14. Final 20 seconds are ticking down on this first quarter clock. The Falcons taking their time. This could be the last play of the quarter. We'll see. All right, here's Martin. This time the pressure comes in and they get him. And no, there was no getting away that time from that Blue Devil defender. That looks like number 25, Steve, and that is Tyler
Clairvoy.
Clairvoy. I think it was one of those French names.
Yeah.
Into the quarter. We've played one quarter here at Falcon Field, or Kellican Field, rather. Our score, Falcons 6, Blue Devils nothing. We'll take a break. Come back for the start of the second quarter right after this.
This broadcast is made possible by the following community sponsors. Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Found in Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found in Sons. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. LocalSportsHistory.com is the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at LocalSportsHistory.com. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast and to the start of the second quarter here at Fauquier High School as the Falcons up 6-0 as we start the second. They have possession, but they have a very long 4th and 28 here. They got to get to the 4-yard line for a first down. Here's Martin reversing his direction, looking downfield. He's going to throw it. He's going to be incomplete. Pass underthrown. Pretty good coverage out there. The intended receiver, Eli Beinecker, and that'll turn the ball over on down. So the Blue Devils, Steve. So somewhat of a victory here for the Blue Devil defense.
Yeah, and I was surprised that Fauquier didn't punt and put him deeper down in their territory, but in their own territory now, you know, Culpeper's going to have good operating position from their own 30, but looks like about the 32.
Well, this is actually pretty good field position when you compare what the Blue Devils have had previously, right?
In first quarter, you're absolutely right.
And they started that first possession at the 20, and they had a holding and moved them back to the 10, and things just didn't go well after that. But maybe they could be thankful they're only down 6 points here.
Yeah, you're right. I was getting ready to say that. I mean, they're very lucky.
All right. I think this is Clablow, the ball carrier, Steve. Picks up about 2 or 3 yards on the play. Yeah, number 25.
Yep.
Sophomore.
We didn't call his number against Eastern
No, I don't remember that.
But Culpeper's offensive line has got to do better, Mark. I can't emphasize it anymore. It's just they have to do a better job up front, getting in the way or getting blocked so their skill players can get the edge and see if we can move the ball downfield.
All right, I believe Charlie Holland is in there as well, number 23, behind Jeremiah Johnson. Caleb Green in motion. This is the option, and Jeremiah Johnson simply had nowhere to go. There just were no options for him there. And he goes down and back to the, maybe lost a yard on the play.
They could have gone with the pitch to Caleb Green, but again, he was too flat for Jeremiah Johnson. He needs to kind of, be heading upfield when you're going to do that option. But because you got to get north and south as quick as you can. And he basically, when I saw Caleb, he was kind of running east to west and kind of stringing out, but then it was too late. The quarterback, Jeremiah Johnson, didn't have a chance. He had to eat it.
Well, we'll be looking at a 3rd and 8 for Culpeper from the 34-yard line. And it looks like the clock is running, and they're taking their time trying to get their play in. It looks like now they're going to have to call a timeout. And we'll tell you that our timeout sponsor this year is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and of the Culpeper community. UVAcreditunion.org. 10:22 to play here in the second quarter. So on a 3rd and 8, Steve, most of the time we certainly think pass. It's a passing situation. What do you see as a good option for the Blue Devils on 3rd and 8 here, considering what they're bringing to the table?
Well, I'd like to maybe see if they could do a screen pass, a slant to Caleb Green over the middle like they did last year. They found success in that towards later part of the season last year. They can utilize that. They can utilize Vineyard out of the backfield. They cannot rely on this option run play right now because Fauquier's eating them for lunch. And so they're going to have to use that aggressiveness of Fauquier against themselves and go with the short passing game.
Well, Riley Vineyard's in the backfield alongside quarterback Jeremiah Johnson. 2 receivers to the right. A little reverse here with running back Malik.
Was that Murray?
Oh, Caleb Murray. I think he's wearing number 28. Well, it looks like a nice play, but looks like the Falcons were simply not fooled on that one. And now the Blue Devils will have to punt.
No, they weren't. And again, the sense of urgency I see Culpeper does not have. And they're just kind of walking up to the line. You got to want to go after it. Just like that.
Going to have a penalty here. Going to be assessed here momentarily. I'm going to tell you this broadcast brought to you in part by LocalSportsHistory.com. That's the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at LocalSportsHistory.com. Also, Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556.
And now Mark brings a 4th and 1. Now Culpeper took their punting unit off the field.
Well, tell me about that penalty there, because I thought that was against the Blue Devils. Now they have a 4th and 1. Johnson is under center. He's looking for the long snap count to try to draw the Falcons offside. They don't take the bait yet.
Yeah, it was offsides against Fauquier.
Okay. They only have to get a yard for a first down. Now we may have an. Let's check this one. Is Fauquier offside?
No, it's going to be Culpeper. It's going to be Culpeper because they moved.
All right.
And
they were gifted and gave it back.
Yep. Numbers. It looks like I'm trying to get who moved. 56, I believe, or 66. Can't see. It looked like 66.
So from 35, they'll punt this one away. Short kick. Someone may have gotten a hand on this one. This one's going to take somewhat of a Blue Devil roll, however. They're going to down it at the 27. So average field position now for the Falcons, up 6-0. With 9:03 to play here in the second quarter. Now we're talking about the Blue Devils and Falcons tonight. Eastern View has its bye week this week, Steve. They're 1-1. They beat the Blue Devils in the Cannonball Classic. They lost to Huguenot last week. And they will play again next week against Brook Point at home.
Yeah, we'll be doing the Brook Point game. And, I remember last year's Brook Point game at Brook Point. We won at the last minute. We pulled it out. But and I'm sure Eastern View is going to be chomping at the bit to get back and avenge that loss to Huguenot.
All right. Fauquier back on offense. Lewis, the ball carrier. They wrap him up into the line of scrimmage and sling him to the ground. Let's pick up the number there. It's number 8, Griffin Tanner.
That's
for Culpeper.
Good tackle, good play. And see, they're going to have to, Culpeper, until they get their offense on track, they've got to really play sound defensively and go after it. And because that's the only thing right now I see is keeping them in the game.
Lost 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 12 here. Martin fakes it. It's going to keep it 25-30. That's where he stopped. He'll pick up 5 yards, bring up 3rd and 7.
And see, Culpeper, if they can stop here, they need it. They need to get a 3 and out here.
Well, we can say what we want, but this is not a game that's gotten away from Culpeper by any stretch of the imagination. They're only down by a touchdown, 6-0.
Right.
And there's 8 minutes to play in the second quarter, and they've got Fauquier looking at a 3rd and 7 now from its own 30. So, yeah, I know it sounds cliche, but it is a big 3rd down for this Blue Devil defense. They want to get the ball back. They want to have decent field position. Martin is flush from the pocket. Now he throws downfield, incomplete, threw it to the sideline. So they will get the punt, so the Blue Devil defense does its job. They had a nice tackle by Griffin Tanner to set this one up.
Yeah, so what they got to do, they got to build on that. And they have to, pretty much, they're going to have to rely on their defense right now from this first half. Because, like you said, Fauquier should be up by 2 touchdowns by now, but they've had their issues too with penalties and fumbles.
So it looks like Bo Green, who plays tight end and defensive line, will actually punt this one away. Good athlete. Standing at about his own 17 right now. Here's his kick from about the 21. Garrett Damewood will watch this one bounce. It'll take a Falcon roll, and they'll down it, mark it down at the 36. All right. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 540-547-3673. All right, Steve, we've looked at the Blue Devils on offense now, I think, for 3 possessions. What's working well for them, and what's something that just doesn't seem to be there?
Well, the option is not working. I can tell you that. They're going to have to go throw the ball and try to go to a short passing game, get the ball into their playmakers' hands.
All right, here's Jeremiah Johnson. He's got time. He's throwing near sidelines for the intended receiver in double coverage. That was Dalton Butler.
You see, number 15.
Yeah, Dalton Butler, the intended receiver. I like seeing Johnson air it out like that, but the Falcons were back there in double coverage in good position.
That's where Johnson needs to be able to read the defense. He should not have thrown into double coverage because he had man-on-man coverage on the other side. And that's the knock on the quarterback is he kind of hones in on one receiver. he's got to be able to step back there and take a look and read the defense.
2nd down and 10. Here's the option. They pitch it back. This is Damewood. He certainly has nowhere to operate. 4 or 5 red jerseys swarm him. They drop him for a loss. The line of scrimmage was the 36. They've moved it back to the 33. So a loss of 3 yards on the play is going to bring up 3rd down and 13. As the clock continues to run, we're approaching the 7-minute mark of the 2nd quarter with the Falcons on top, 6-0. 3rd and 13 right here for Jeremiah Johnson and his offensive teammates. They need a big play. Here's Johnson rolling to his left. Penalty flag comes in as he completes the pass for 1st down. And that was to Garrett Damewood, who held on after a pretty good hit.
He got pounded with that hit, but we got a flag. It's going to be a hold, I think, against Culpeper. Sure
Yeah,
is.
and that's going to negate that 1st down. That was a good-looking play otherwise, but maybe they got there because of the holding.
Yeah, but then see again, Culpeper, to me right now, offensively, they got to go to that passing game, even though it was a hold right there. They've got to go to that passing game and so they can keep Fauquier off balance, because in that triple option run, it's not there. And Fauquier, it's like feeding blood to a shark, and that's exactly what we've been doing.
From the 33, they move it back 10 yards to the 23, where it's 3rd and 23. And that's a big task to undertake, don't you think?
Agree. They got to take care of the football here, though.
Let's see what happens here. Johnson. He's got time. Got a receiver. He overthrew him, and this one's picked up. 2nd interception of the night. This one is by Thomas Sanford. Caleb Green brings him down. This is Fauquier's 2nd pick. Steve, how do you break that play down?
Well, I mean, the pass looked good, but he kind of overthrew it, and the receiver for Culpeper couldn't get quite high point the ball, but the defender for Fauquier did. Interception and brought it down. Now they've got a good operating position on the Culpeper.
Well, Steve, that's Culpeper's 3rd turnover. And what have you said about turnovers and penalties?
They don't win you ball games.
Or used to say in more graphic terms, they'll kill you every time,
exactly.
right? Exactly. They still don't win you ball games.
No. And they have made a lot of them. Culpeper has. The big thing is right now they're playing good defensively, like a bend but don't break, but you can't keep your defense on the field all game long because they're going to get tired.
Well, the return by Sanford is to the Culpeper 17-yard line, where Fauquier sets up here in the red zone. This is Aaron Lewis, the running back. Blue Devils do a nice job of staying home and waiting to corral him. Several players in the tackle for Culpeper, including Griffin Tanner.
Big number 72 for Culpeper, who's in on it too.
Devontae Butler.
And right now, defensively, to me, Culpeper looks very good defensively and not very good on offense. And they just...
Yeah, so lost a yard in a play. It's 2nd and 11 for Fauquier at the Culpeper 18. Aaron Lewis, the ball carrier, off to the left side. He picks up nice yardage, lowered his shoulder, got to the 10-yard line, a pickup of 8. Going to bring up 3rd and 3. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. All right, here he is. 3rd and we'll call it 4. Clock running, 4:55 to play. 2nd quarter action. Falcons on top, 6-0, looking to extend their lead. Amari Martin is the quarterback. Aaron Lewis, the running back, alongside him. Lewis gets the call, breaks the tackle, and loses the football and turns it over to the Blue Devils, recovered by number 7 of Culpeper, Steve. That is Gavin Alvarado. So Fauquier's 2nd turnover, and all of a sudden it's not a route because of the turnover.
Yep, again, Fauquier's giving them gifts. Now let's see if, after that gift from Santa Claus, can they take and put it under the tree? Let's go.
No matter what the weather is. Okay,
Right.
so Culpeper's had 3 turnovers, and now Faulkier's had 2. And so you mentioned that the defense of Culpeper is playing pretty well.
They're playing pretty well. They're aggressive. Now let's see what we can do offensively, and they got to be careful. Got to take care of the football down here.
Yeah, ball at the 10-yard line.
Because
Or
going
11.
going in halftime 6-0 is better than down 13-0.
Yeah. Johnson looks right, now looks left. Looking for a receiver out there, and this one's picked off. And this again is Thomas Sanford. And that is Sanford's 2nd pick of the night and the Falcons' 3rd pick.
And he was intended for number 7 for Culpeper.
Yeah. And that was Gavin Alvarado. And Thomas Sanford gets his 2nd pick.
And what Sanford's doing, Mark, he's just undercutting the receiver, and he's just coming up and he's timing his jump and able to get the ball. Whereas the receiver for Culpeper is kind of standing flat-footed and trying to raise his hands up. You know they're ball hungry, they're ball hawking, so you're going to have the receiver has got to take the initiative, and then maybe they would have got interference on Fauquier.
All right, Fauquier back in business. On the Culpeper side of midfield, 1st and 10 from the 46. Here's Martin stepping up, and he ducked down. Did he throw the ball? He did. Well, we lost the camera there. And let's check. Oh, is this one picked off?
Yes, picked off, yes.
All right, what happened on that one?
Number 32. 32 for Culpeper. 22.
Mason Elkins gets the interception. Well, I lost the view there, and
yeah, he was Elkins gave a good defense on that play. I thought Martin for Fauquier underthrew the ball more on a line drive than an arc. And now Culpeper was back there to intercept it. Now see if they can capitalize on the gift from Fauquier.
yeah, I was. So now Fauquier's had 3 turnovers, Culpeper 4. Riley Vineyard goes back to the run, and that's usually a safe play. It's going to net you a few yards. And a penalty flag comes in at the end of this one.
Yeah, but I wonder who's this going to be on, if this is unsportsmanlike.
When it comes in at the end of the play like that, that's usually what you suspect,
Yeah,
isn't it?
dead ball, yep.
Here it comes.
Personal foul.
And that's against Fauquier.
Good. There you go, Culpeper. There, a gift again.
If you're the Blue Devils, you say, we accept.
Yep.
All right. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Well, they walked this one off.
And see, now Fauquier is going to blow Culpeper out, but the Culpeper offensively has had its issues against this defense of the Falcons.
All right. 1st and 10 now. Here's the pitch. I believe this is Vineyard, the ball carrier. Picks up a couple tough yards. Not a whole lot of room out there to operate. They closed that one pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think what Culpeper's got to realize, the option is not working for him. What's better is go to a more balanced attack and use the, play action, because that's freezing the ends and the linebackers for Fauquier and allows you to get your receivers in one-on-one positions. But here's the big but. You got to have blocking up front by your offensive linemen. You've got to give Jeremiah some time to throw it.
2nd and 8. Johnson going to throw on the slant. He's got Butler, the catch, and a 1st down near midfield. So that'll move the sticks for these Blue Devils.
And, Mark, I was calling it earlier. The Green or the Butler, it's open all night long, the slant, and you don't have to do a big 7-5-7-step drop. You can just do drop 3 and boom, right over the middle of the slant, because Fauquier's linebackers are running away from the play.
And that's exactly what they did. They get the 1st down, ball at the 49. They throw it out there to number 7 of Culpeper. That is Gavin Alvarado. Ball may have been loose. Let's check. He did pick up some yards after that catch.
but it's still,
Somebody lost his helmet as well. So when you lose your helmet, you got to go to the sideline for a play, don't you?
Yep, sure do.
All right, let's check the spot. Ball was at the Fauquier 49. And now they have it at the 43. So he picked up 6. Second down and 4 coming up. Clock running, 2:30 to play. Second quarter action. Falcons 6, Blue Devils nothing. But Steve, Culpeper showing a little life here.
Yep, again, it's that short passing game. That's what they need to go to.
Riley Vineyard, I believe, that's Riley Vineyard in the backfield alongside Jeremiah Johnson. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Quick toss in the backfield to Caleb Green. And Green will have a Blue Devil first down. And a new set of downs for these Blue Devils who, would like to get a score before this intermission. You've got 2 minutes and 5 seconds to play. Clock has stopped at the time as they're going to reset this. And now they'll restart it.
And I think that pass to Green or Butler's there all night long. Caleb Green, 6'3", throw to him. He can go up and get the ball.
Ball at the 39 of Fauquier. Vineyard, the ball carrier. Straight ahead he goes. And that's just something you can really rely on, Steve. He's going to get run north and south. He's going to hold on to the football. He may not break it for an 80-yard run. He could. But you figure he's going to get 3 or 4 yards a pop.
Right, again, he's getting that because of the short passing game that Culpeper's using right now, because now you got the linebackers for Fauquier guessing, okay, they look like they're lining up triple option. No, they drop back into a I formation almost and throwing the football, and they're doing these little short slants and screens and out passes because they just don't have the offensive line to get that big push. Against Fauquier's defensive line. But now you got Fauquier's defense guessing, and that's why you're now being able to use the run.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point because you want to mix it up, but you got to stay within your means too, because the razzle-dazzle trickery stuff probably isn't going to work very well for you, but mixing it up like there with some of these high percentage plays will.
Yeah.
And you like the slant, and you like the short passes. Raleigh Vineyard straight ahead, Caleb Green, Garrett Damewood. They've got some options here. Just got to make the right calls. And now looking at 2nd and 2 from the Fauquier 30. Here's the handoff. And this is number 8, Griffin Tanner, straight ahead. And he broke a tackle and pushed his way forward for additional yardage. He lost his helmet, so he'll have to go off the field. But he was signaling that he picked up a big first down, and that is huge for this team.
Yes, it is. And now you got to look at the clock. You do some clock management here. 1:37. You got the ball on Fauquier's 17-yard line.
Yep, and it's 1st and 10 from that spot with 1:33 to play. Left tackle is Riley Vineyard, and he picks him another 3 yards to move the Blue Devils a little closer to that coveted goal line.
And I'm looking, I think Culpeper's got a timeout, I know.
Got the ball. He picked up 5 yards. It's 2nd down and 5. Vineyard remains in the backfield. That's Damewood in motion. Going to throw out there. He looked like he had a receiver. Caleb Green was open. He couldn't get the ball to him, and it wasn't even close.
I think there was a miscommunication there. Johnson wanted to be in the end zone, and Caleb came up short. Thought he would just sit there, maybe Johnson would see him, he could run it in, but that was a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver on that play.
Okay, here we have a 3rd and 5 for the Blue Devils from the Falcons' 12-yard line. And we have 1:06 to play. Clock stopped here in the second quarter. Blue Devils trail 6-0. Jeremiah Johnson, the quarterback. Damewood, the man in motion. They give it to Riley Vineyard. Vineyard breaks the tackle. Looking for a block. He gets one, and looks like he's in to the end zone from 12 yards out.
Touchdown, Blue Devils. Riley Vineyard from how far?
12.
12 yards out. Gets Culpeper on the board.
Well, have we been talking about him at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have. All right, well, we've got a tied game here, 6-all, with 58.9 seconds to play here in the second quarter. They line up for the point after. The holder is Riley Lentz. When I can find my roster, Steve, what did I do with it? No, it's right. There it is. It's in front of me. Riley Lentz is the holder for the place kicker, Acevedo.
I'll go for 2 here.
Would you?
Yeah, let me tell you why. You've got the defense of Fauquier on their feet, back on their hind feet. They're moving. You only got to go 2 yards. You can do a little curl out, or a little pass, or throw it to like Green or Butler, your tall receivers. 2 points and go into the lead, 8-6. Do a lot better than,
Right.
I mean, I'm not down in the kicker for Culpeper. I'm not, but.
No. But what if you don't get it?
Right. If you don't get it, you're going in tied, and I think you got to use your momentum and go for 2 here. And I think that's what Culpeper's going to try to do.
I think it's not. I don't think you're wrong. I think that philosophically we may differ a little on this. I sort of like the conventional point after here. Has a better chance than your 2-point try, but we'll see. I mean, if he gets this, it makes me look good, of course. But if he doesn't, then Steve had the right call. 2-point. All right, so it's Saul Acevedo on for the point after, and if this is good, it will give the Blue Devils their first lead of the night. And this one is good, so it is 7-6.
All right.
All right.
I stand corrected.
And
I didn't think he made it from here.
Well, you're not really standing corrected because they could have gone for 2, and they may have gotten it. But, again, it's kind of a 50-50 there. With Acevedo, you get a good snap, you get a good hold, you get your point after. 7-6 our score with 58.9 seconds showing on that scoreboard clock. Steve, I think this has been a particularly close game because of those turnovers.
Yeah, I do too.
And where neither team is really able to take advantage of too many of those, because if they did, we'd have many more points scored at this point. I think I've got Culpeper with 4 turnovers and Fauquier with 3. But it's a 7-6 game. And if you're the Blue Devils right now, you got to feel pretty good about where you are, at least points-wise, and here late in this second quarter, you put together a scoring drive.
Yeah, because in the first quarter, we were all on them. They weren't doing anything offensively in the first quarter. And they're lucky, like I said, that they weren't down even more. But Fauquier's been very kind, too, giving them some turnovers.
Well, do you think it's fair to say that on this scoring drive that the Blue Devils staff and players did a good job of the play calling and mixing it up nicely?
Yes.
Short kick. This was going to be fielded at the 25-yard line. And down the near sidelines is a return man there, number 3, and that's Gabe Rogers. Gives the Fauquier Falcons outstanding field position near midfield. And it looks like, of course, the Falcons still have about a minute to play. And so the Blue Devils, as the expression goes, aren't out of the woods yet as far as this first half is concerned.
They cannot give up points here. They need to go in halftime up 7-6.
All right, so the Falcons take over. 1st and 10 at their own 49. And again, they have about 53 seconds to work with here before the intermission. All right, here's Martin. Here comes some pressure. He steps up. But the Blue Devils get their hand on him and hold him and bring him to the ground. That was Tyler McKnight. He came in on the blitz, Steve, and I don't think anyone picked him up. And you're looking at Tyler McKnight, and he just refused to let go. He wanted to make that tackle.
And 21, Vineyard was in there too.
Well, that's 34.
34.
21 is McKnight.
Oh, McKnight.
Yeah, he's the one that got the, he came in off that edge, and no one picked him up. And Martin lost 4 yards. His second down and 14. Clock running. 15 seconds and counting. Here's Martin. Looks like he's got time, and he does. He throws, then complete. Good coverage out there, and no penalty flags thrown. Brings up 3rd down and long.
Culpeper's doing a good job defensively right here. They don't want to get, like I said, don't give up the big play. Keep the ball and the player in front of you. Because you got 10 seconds.
Yep, 10.4 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Falcons have the ball at their own 45. It's 3rd and 14. Play comes in, substitutions come in, and Amari Martin, the quarterback, has 5 receivers out there. He's got 3 to the left and 2 to the right on 3rd and 14. If the Blue Devils come after him, we'll see. Here it comes. He steps up to avoid the rush. Straight ahead he goes. Breaks a tackle at midfield. He's at the Blue Devil 40. Down to the 30. Lowers his shoulder. He's down at the 25-yard line before making the tackle by Gavin Alvarado. And now the Fauquier I believe we'll call a timeout
Yep.
with 2.1 seconds to play. So, they're in a position. I don't know what their kickers like, Steve, but if they don't bring their kicker out, then they've got to have a score from, looks like, about 25 yards out.
Right, and if a kick would be spot back 7 yards, so the kick would be at the 31 or 32, so it would be a 42-yard try, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's see, line of scrimmage, another 25,
Five,
add 7,
seven,
32,
two.
42-yard field goal attempt if they go that route with 2.1 seconds to play.
And I don't see the field goal kicker coming out, or maybe it.
Let's see. I don't know. Hector Villatoro wears number 17. He's out there, Steve.
All right.
And the holder is Ben Nolan. It looks like they're going to spot it. Let's check the spot. It's hard to pick up those.
It's at the
Is it 33?
Or 33, yeah.
So this will be a 43-yard field goal attempt by Hector Villatoro on what will likely be the last play of this first half.
Watch for the fake.
Nolan the holder. They get it down. This one is blocked. So no good. The Blue Devil defense turn them back, Steve. And that's the way this first half is going to end, with the Blue Devils going to the intermission with a 1-point lead, 7-6. A little momentum on their side, and really an injection of confidence with the defense holding right here.
Sure, you're right, Mark. Way to, Culpeper, bend but don't break. And now look at them. They're up by a point. They got the momentum. And the only thing is that Fauquier gets the ball and start the second half.
Yeah, but Blue Devils can't complain too much about that.
Nope.
When they think about the way they finished this first half.
Yeah, with 4 turnovers. I mean, you have 4 turnovers. You wouldn't think they'd be ahead 8-6. I
Yeah.
mean, 7-6, but
Right.
they are.
Right. All right. Into the first half. We'll take a break for the intermission. We'll come back when the third quarter is set to begin. Keep it right here. You're watching Blue Devils football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is made possible by the following community sponsors: Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Found in Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found in Sons. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. LocalSportsHistory.com is the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at LocalSportsHistory.com. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast. It's halftime here in Culpeper at Fauquier High School in Warrenton, Virginia. Marco Connell, Steve Peacock, Johnny Caldwell here tonight at Culpeper Media Network. Big Lawrence back in the studio at Culpeper Media Network. I know we had some technical difficulties earlier, Steve. We may have rectified those also. But right now, before we start the second half, our score is 7-6. Let's break down that first half and make it on turnovers, Steve, at the end of the total 7.
You are correct, my friend. Yes, 7 turnovers, 4 by Culpeper, 3 by Fauquier. So basically, this game is a toss-up right now. Culpeper leading 7-6.
Well, and Fauquier drew first blood. Their second possession, they had the 37-yard pass from Amari Martin to Bo Green, and then the kick failed. And that turned out to be a thing because late in the second quarter, the Blue Devils put together their scoring drive, 8 plays, 36 yards, capped by a 12-yard touchdown run by Riley Vineyard. They thought probably about the 2-point try. They went with the point after instead, and Saul Acevedo connected to give the Blue Devils a 1-point lead as we get ready to start the third quarter, and Culpeper will be kicking off. But other than the turnovers, what did you see that impressed you about both teams? Starting with the Blue Devils, Steve, what impressed you? I know that scoring drive came at a good time for
It did, and the defense impressed me a little bit, Mark, because they were given a lot of bad field position by the offense, especially in the first quarter with the problems the offense was having. So you got to give your my hat's off to the defense. They had a bend but don't break philosophy. And then offensively, I thought in the latter part of the second quarter, when I was calling get away from the run game, use the passing attack, short passing attack, and then use that to set up the run. And they did that, and that's how they scored. So I don't know how long this triple option offense is going to last, because I think they're better suited running more of a, pistol formation or even a pro I formation than they are running the option, because they just don't have the quick lineman to carry it out. And Jeremiah's got a good arm, but he's just not fast enough for those reads on the triple option. So I'm thinking maybe that Coach Sherry next week is probably going to try to maybe see if we can open up the offense a little bit more and take advantage of your players. Jeremiah's got a good arm. You got Caleb Green. You got Josie Shiflett. You got Butler. You got some people that can catch the football. Mm-hmm. And then you can set up Vineyard with the run or use Vineyard on screen plays. Yep. Do something to keep the Fauquier defense from pinning their ears back coming after the quarterback.
Well, and it's interesting to see, Fauquier had a big win last week over Liberty in that Bird Bowl, and the defensive line was dominant. And Amari Martin rushed for 36 yards. He threw 2 touchdown passes, including one to tight end Bo Green, and Green has the touchdown catch tonight for the Falcons. And Steve, you and I have always liked the utilization of a tight end in your offensive scheme.
I do, and I think maybe they can use Vineyard there as a tight end or another player, because right now, Culpeper defensively, they're, like I said, they're bending a little bit, but they're not breaking, because you think a team with 4 turnovers in the first half will be down by at least 21-0, but Fauquier's been just as generous, so they had 3.
Right, so not to be outdone, Fauquier's given the ball back 3 times as well, as you pointed out. So Saul Acevedo will kick off for the Blue Devils to start this third quarter. Again, if you're just tuning in, our score is 7-6. Low scoring affair, and the game's been marred by turnovers and penalties, of course, but the Blue Devils have to feel pretty good about having this 1-point lead. They think about how things have gone for them. It's a short kick, and the return man here is going to bring it out near the 40-yard line. That was for Fauquier, number 28 on the return, Riley Perry.
That's kind of why they pooch kicked that, I wonder. Maybe they didn't want their deep back to bring it back, but.
So they're going to have it at their own 34 as we start third quarter action here. Amari Martin wears jersey number 1. He's the quarterback. Alongside of him in the backfield, Tyrese Nwankwo. He gets the ball carry, and he cannot break the tackle of number 53 of Culpeper. That's a good solo tackle made by Brendan Stover, because I think if he gets away from Stover, he might still be running the football right now.
Yep, he did. You're right. And then Caleb Green got a hand on him, too, at the end. But you're right. If he broke through Stover, he could have galloped a long way.
Picked up 4. It's 2nd and 6. 1 receiver each side. And here's the handoff to number 7, Tyrese Nwankwo. And the Blue Devils stop him near the line of scrimmage.
And Roddy Lentz is the one who blew it up, though, Mark, because he was in on that backfield, and he was able to trip him up just enough and for the rest of the defense to get there and drop for little or no gain.
Yep, so it's 3rd and 6 from the 38. In that Fauquier backfield now includes Sal Sorrentino, number 22. Number 7, Tyrese Nwankwo. Quarterback number 1, Amari Martin. A receiver split each side. Martin loses it and then pounces on it, and is going to lose some yardage. And there to put the finishing touches on him is Jaden Carter. And that brings up 4th down. And so 3 and out for the Falcons, Steve, and the Blue Devils got to like that pretty well.
They do. And, Mark, I'm now seeing a little bit better sense of urgency in the Blue Devils than I did in the first quarter. I mean, I thought in the first quarter they came out sluggish, were tentative, But now, they know they can play with this Fauquier team. Fauquier, to me, doesn't have anybody that's, way heads and shoulders above everybody like, a team like Eastern View had. Or they just don't have the athletes at Fauquier, and I think Culpeper was doing a good job competing.
Makes me wonder, why were they so successful last week against Liberty? This is a low kick. Line drive fielded at about the 35-yard line and brought back by the return man, Gavin Alvarado. He brings it into Falcon territory. So, Steve, the Blue Devils will be setting up on offense for the first time here in this third quarter. We'll start with excellent field position. That's something they didn't have early in this football game.
You're right about that. And like I said, it's just the way Culpeper is playing right now. They've got a little bit of momentum, and see if we can do something right now with this offense.
9:43 to play in the third. Fauquier on its opening possession went 3 and out. And now the Blue Devils have a good opportunity here on the Fauquier side of midfield, starting from the 44. Here's the pitch to Garrett Damewood. Damewood looking for a little running room. He's tripped up near the 40. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. This broadcast brought to you in part by localsportshistory.com. That's the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at localsportshistory.com.
Now here's how I go with a slant pass right now, right here. See where the linebackers are. Do a little play action.
Got Butler wide to the right. They're going to hand off Riley Vineyard straight ahead, and that works. And he just powers his way forward for additional yardage. A nice pickup by Riley Vineyard and a new set of downs for Culpeper. And Steve, they got to be feeling like they're starting to exercise a little control here. I think the way that first half ended, and now they're picking up here on offense in the third quarter.
Yeah, Vineyard just was a tough runner right between the tackles. He's low center of gravity, and he was taking on those defensive backs for Fauquier. And maybe, like I said, that's the offensive line is doing a better job right now. You just got to give him a crease, give him enough room to run up in there.
And they did, and he picked up 21 yards on a first down ball at the Fauquier 20. Technically now the Blue Devils in that red zone. Vineyard the ball carrier, made the first guy miss, and fighting as Fauquier was able to make early contact. He shrugged off the first defender, then Tyrese Nquanko came up, slowed him down a little, but it couldn't bring him down. He got a little help from his red-shirted teammates. And let's see, is there a timeout on the field? What's going on? Maybe a player being attended to here. Official timeout.
He's coming off. 22.
For Fauquier. That is Sal Sorrentino. Likely not related to Luke.
Could be way on
Could be. You don't hear a name like Sorrentino too often, do you?
Yeah, you do.
Sal Sorrentino.
But you asked about Liberty. Liberty also lost their opener, Kettle Run by a big score. I think Liberty doesn't have much this year. They're in the down year. But Fauquier hadn't beaten them in 21 years, and they beat them last week. So.
They sure did, for the first time since, 2002? Mm-hmm. And so Kettle Run's been good in recent years. I wonder just how good they are this year as well. Might see them in the postseason. Who knows? All right, well, the ball at the 19-yard line. It's second down and 9 for the Blue Devils. And we've got a different quarterback in there. This one snapped to number 1, Riley Lentz. Goes nowhere as Fauquier's Jaden Stringfellow sniffed that one out. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Third down and 9. From the 20. Riley Vineyard back there along with Jeremiah Johnson. Johnson rolls to his right. Here comes the pressure. He throws. Dumps it off. He had an open man out there and plenty of grass in front of him was Caleb Green, and he'd love to have that one back.
Yep, I think he would too. He was looking downfield without looking the ball in and dropped the ball, but he had running room ahead of him. He could have maybe taken that to the house, but you got to look that ball in. You can't peak, and Caleb Green was peaking on that play.
4th and 10, Steve, from the 20, at a professional or college, always say, okay, let's go to the field goal, 37 yards out. But I don't know if they can do it. Well, they may. Saul Acevedo's on, and they're going to try that here. Let's check the spot. Looks like it's going to be the 27, so this will be a 37-yard field goal attempt coming up momentarily from Saul Acevedo. And the holder, number 23, Charlie Holland, gets it down. Here's Acevedo's kick. Looks like it's going to be long enough. And it is no good, wide left. He had enough distance. He was just a little bit offline. So the 37-yard field goal attempt, no good, and Fauquier will take over on down. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 540-547-3673. 7:12 to play here in the third quarter. It's been a scoreless one so far. Our score remains unchanged at 7-6 in favor of Culpeper.
And, Mark, I think Culpeper had a golden opportunity there to get points on the board to go ahead against Fauquier, but now they're going to have to stiffen up here on defensively.
Whistle and stoppage. Looks like we're going to have a timeout taken by Culpeper. Well, our timeout sponsor is UBA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and of the Culpeper community. UBACreditUnion.org. Looking at the Fauquier offensive unit there.
And, we want to remind our viewing audience that they're coached by Donald Downs, former quarterback for the Blue Devils back in the early 2000s under Greg Martz. And he was a magician with the football back then. I remember doing those
We
games.
used to call him the magician, and he faked me out several times, and he just really sold it nicely, And now he's coaching his first-year head coach here at Fauquier. And already they've won a Bird Bowl, and they haven't done that since 2002. So early success now for the Falcons under Donnie Downs.
That was little or no gain. The defense stepped right up on that hole right there, and they're going to have to tighten up right here and just force Fauquier for a 3-and-out.
And it's 2nd down and 9 from the 21.
I don't know if it's me or you, but do you think Fauquier is sputtering on offense right now?
They seem to be so far. They go back to Martin. He had about 36 rushing yards last week, unable to break the tackle there of number 3, Caleb Green. And again, a nice solo tackle by Green. Maybe saved him a few yards.
I remember what Coach Sherry said to us in the coaches show, that Caleb Green will not come off the field.
Yeah. 3rd and 3 here for the Falcons. Empty backfield. But this is the Wildcat formation and a direct snap to number 11, Bo Green. And they stop him near the line of scrimmage. So that's where they were putting their really big, strong athlete, Bo Green, to take that snap. And the Wildcats, Steve, they ran the Wildcats some last week against Liberty with some success. But now Culpeper's defense playing pretty good.
Yeah, they are. I think they've figured the offensive set out for Fauquier. They just got to play sound defensively, keep everybody in front of you, make a tackle, and wrap them up when you make the tackle.
I think if you're the Blue Devils, you really should be playing with a sense of confidence right now. Not cockiness, but confidence that, hey, look, this game is for ours to win if we want it. Here's the punt. Not going to be returned. Blue Devils get out of the way of it. It'll take somewhat of a Falcon roll. They're going to down it at the Culpeper 37.
And like I said, Culpeper is in this game 7-6, and now they've got to take care of what Fauquier gives them. In other words, take advantage of what they give you. If they're going to give up the inside run, go to it. If they're going to give up the short, they're going to stop the run, go to the short pass.
Yeah. Culpeper's offense back onto the field. They'll start from their own 37. Our score is 7-6 with 5:16 to play here in the third.
And see what I'm looking at, I don't think Fauquier's linebackers are very fast. That's why I think the slant will be there all night long.
All right, they throw it to Murray. out of the backfield. He sprints forward across the 40 out to about the 43. A pickup of 6 yards brings up 2nd and 4. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. It's 2nd down and 3 from the 43. 4:44 to play, third quarter action. Riley Vineyard looking for a crease. He made a nice cut. He inches his way close to that first down marker.
Could be, I think, you might have it.
Maybe just a tad short. Yeah. Maybe, and it would be by, oh, they're going to give it to him. Got just enough. Ball now at the 46-yard line.
And see, right now, Culpeper is really finding itself right now on offense. And they can sit there and just keep doing this. Keep the offense of Fauquier off the field.
That's Damewood in motion. Handoff straight ahead. The ball carrier to midfield. That is Tanner Griffin. Or Griffin Tanner, rather. And an injured Fauquier player, Stephen. This is one of those big down linemen for the Falcons.
Yeah, it's not good. He's grabbing.
Pick up his jersey number
78.
78 for Fauquier. Aiden Hartman, Jr.
I didn't see to see what happened. He just at the bottom of that pile.
Well, with an injured player being attended to, we'll take a break and come back when the action resumes. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network. Well, as the action resumes, Riley Vineyard, no, make that again. I'm confusing him with Griffin Tanner. Griffin Tanner picked up positive yardage and went down with an injury, and then a penalty flag came in at the end of that play.
I think it might be a late hit on Fauquier. I think you're going to get 15 yards tacked onto this. We'll see what the call is.
I mean, he needed 6 yards from midfield, and he got down to the 36. That was 14-yard pickup. And they may tack on some more here.
Yeah, the call was like a push in the back, but
there it is.
It's a 15-yarder.
Yeah, they're walking it off, and this really should sting those Falcons when they give up a penalty such as that. They all the way down to the 21-yard line.
Now Culpeper needs to capitalize.
Well, they've got Jeremiah Johnson back there alongside Riley Vineyard.
It was unsportsmanlike conduct on Fauquier.
They marked it off. They spotted at the 21. It's 4 minutes, clock ticking, third quarter. Caleb Green in motion. Riley Vineyard, the ball carrier. He did break a tackle, made a nice cut, and got down to about the 15 for a 6-yard pickup. And I tell you what, Vineyard could probably carry you into the end zone on his back.
Well, Mark, what I like what he's doing, he takes care of the football. That is paramount. He takes care of the football. And that's, if you can do that in high school and run, you're going to be successful. And, in the first half, Culpeper was kind of loose with the ball. They're not loose with the ball right now.
I'll tell you who he reminds me a little bit of. You may not like the comparison, but when you think about the way he runs, the way he covers that ball. Here's the pitch to Caleb Green. He broke a tackle and then surged ahead on the outside of that that line there and picked up yards and a first down.
Good play, good run. Picked up the first down.
I was going to say Riley Vineyard reminds me a little bit of the Moose, Daryl Johnston. Straight ahead runner, tough, but the way he would protect the ball, it really never fumbled.
No.
He didn't run the ball a lot either. I mean, Vineyard's getting some work here. I mean, he's really the workhorse. You think about the running game right now.
But wasn't last year? No, Vineyard. What was it? Lens boy was a good runner.
Lentz, yeah. To the 9-yard line, they give it back to Riley Vineyard, and they sling him down as he in forward motion. from the 9. Looks like he's going to be right at about the 7 there, or the 6.
Yeah, now can they get a first down without scoring a touchdown?
I don't think
so.
No, I think it's 2nd and goal from that spot.
And now,
Right from the 6-yard line, 2:20, clock ticking, 3rd quarter, 7-6 Blue Devils. They are knocking on the door here. And on 2nd and goal from the 6, Jeremiah Johnson in the pistol. He's got Riley Vineyard behind him. And they give it to Garrett Damewood, and Damewood finds the end zone from 6 yards out.
touchdown, Blue Devils. Cameron Damewood from 6 yards out with a TD.
Comes with 2:03 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. That's our first score of this 2nd half. It makes it 13-6. Saul Acevedo will be on for the point after. Riley Lentz is the holder.
See, if you make it, if you would do for 2 here and get it, that's 2 scores.
Right, but if Fauquier scores, they want a 2-point try of their own just to tie it, right?
Yep.
They're going high percentage, and I like it. It's 14-6 here late in the 3rd quarter, 2 minutes and 3 seconds to play. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200.
And what I like seeing Mark across the way is that Culpeper brought a good crowd over here.
Yeah, they did. Well, you figure what Warrenton is about 23 miles north of Culpeper.
Yeah.
Right up 29. It's a nice drive. It's a beautiful night for football. The weather's nice.
It takes about a half hour to get here.
Yeah, for whom the bell tolls. You hear the bell in the background, Steve?
Yep.
Well, we mentioned Eastern View has its bye week tonight, and they'll be back in action next week at home against Brook Point, which has beaten King George this year.
You're right.
And the Blue Devils will be on the road to play Meridian. That's up in Falls Church.
And see, King George lost again last.
Did they?
Lost to Glen Allen.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I mean, if they were able to reload to some extent. They lost those 2 Division I receivers.
Yeah.
One's at
and
Maryland.
And the quarterback, too.
And the quarterback, yeah. So, I mean, that's huge. You lose a star quarterback and 2 Division I receivers and not feel a little bit of a pinch there, right?
Yep.
This one's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line by David Mayfield. Mayfield breaks out of the back, ducks under the tackler, and then falls to the turf. After he crossed the 40, he's a little shaken up.
Yeah, he took a hit, but I think he took the hit from his own man because he ran over the Culpeper player, and he was still up, and I think one of the defenders of Culpeper pushed him back, and he ran into his own man.
Fauquier back on offense from its own 42. Minute 56 to play in this 3rd quarter. Amari Martin will keep it. He's going to try to get the edge there. He's upended and tackled. Nice solo tackle made by number 11, R.J. Uribe. And one of the things I'm seeing here, Steve, is some good solo tackles, which means that when the first guy gets to that ball carrier, he's wrapping it up and bringing them down.
That's what I like. They're not just they're tackling. They're not just trying to hit him with a blow.
Uh-oh.
And we got an unsportsmanlike against Culpeper.
Yeah, and that negates that nice tackle.
Yep.
He's going to tack on 15 yards, I think, against the Blue Devils here.
Well, I think what he was doing was showboating or maybe after the tack. You can't do that. They're going to call it to you every time. The officials, you should just, you made the tackle, made a good play, get back in the huddle, let's play another down.
And so now the Falcons will have it at the Blue Devil 41. Minute 44 to play in the 3rd. Clock resumes ticking. 14-6 our score. Amari Martin is the quarterback. Man in motion there, number 10, Eli Beinecker. And here's the handoff. Oh, what a nice hit made on the running back there, number 13, Thomas Sanford. And it looks like it was Culpeper's number 6, Jossie Shiflett, made a nice tackle for Culpeper.
Yeah, Culpeper's playing with a new sense of urgency. They know they're leading, and they want to be able to get the ball back for their offense right now. And so,
Well, I mean, maybe it sounds corny for me to say this, Steve, but I get the impression that the Blue Devils are playing with some healthy confidence.
I do too. I agree.
You know, it's like they know they belong. Handoff straight ahead, or closer to that right side goes Tyrese and Quanco.
Looked like the ball's on the ground, Mark, but the officials are going to call dead ball. He was already down.
Yeah, that would have been turnover number 4. Going to bring up third down here. Clock running, 30 seconds to play in the third. It's 3rd and 6 for the Falcons from the Blue Devil 37.
And you've got to figure Fauquier's going to go for it here if they don't get this conversion on third down.
Let's see what they draw up. They've got Tyrese and Quanco in the backfield. Martin's going to keep it all the way, looking for the edge and try to escape the tackle of number 11, R.J. Uribe, who gets credit. He's going to bring up 4th down and about 1.
Yeah, and he hurdled too, and that should have been a penalty, Mark.
I thought so too. It looked like a very, well, I won't say it at this point. It didn't look like a major hurdle.
Right.
Well, anyway, we've played the clock has expired to signal the end of the third quarter. So we're 3/4 of the way there at Fauquier High School, and the Blue Devils have an 8-point lead, 14-6. We'll take a break. We'll come back for the fourth quarter right after this. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is made possible by the following community sponsors. Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Found in Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found in Sons. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. LocalSportsHistory.com is the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at LocalSportsHistory.com. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home.
Well, as we start the fourth quarter, Bo Green, I believe, was the ball carrier in that Wildcat formation. It was Green who gets the first down pickup for the Falcons. They'll move the sticks. He only needed a yard. They have it now at the 27, picked up 5. And Green stays in there in this Wildcat formation.
So you know pretty much it's going to be a run play.
And that's Green again. We go to the big guy. And he powers his way down to about the 20, it looks like, or maybe actually the 15. Caleb Green in on the tackle with some help.
Yeah, it looks like they're making a little change up right here.
Well, last week they did have some success with that Wildcat formation. And now they have it 1st and 10 now at the Culpeper 14. So Falcons down by 8. Plenty of time here as we opening minute of this fourth quarter. Checking back in, and well, Amari Martin now goes splits wide from his quarterback position to a wide out, and Bo Green in the Wildcat. That's Martin in motion. They hand it to him on the jet sweep, and this is not getting away from anyone as Caleb Green and company. They were just waiting on him, Steve.
They're waiting on him right there, and they didn't let him get that corner. So good defense there by Green and company for Culpeper. They played and they sniffed it right out.
2nd and 13 now from the 17. Broadcast brought to you in part by LocalSportsHistory.com. That's the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at LocalSportsHistory.com. All right, Amari Martin is back in that pistol formation as a quarterback. And he's got Tyrese and Quanco back there with him. He's going to block, and Martin's going to throw. He's throwing for the end zone, incomplete. No flag down. Covering for the Blue Devils there was R.J. Uribe, and the intended receiver was Fauquier's number 10, Eli Beinecker. Brings up a third down. And 13 from the 17 for Fauquier. So I know we've said it before, big play here because, Steve, if the Blue Devils turn them back in this possession, they hold on their 8-point lead. But, you know, if the Falcons are able to convert here, they can cut into that lead and make it really,
Yep.
you know, they may even go for 2. I don't know.
Well, they got a
Tied
big
up.
play here for defense. You got to figure 2 plays, or they might also, you know, if they get this play, maybe Fauquier might go for the field goal.
Would they? Yeah, they could, because a touchdown would win it for them if it got into a situation like that. All right. Well, that looks like Eli Beinecker is back there taking the snap. He makes a cut. Straight ahead he goes. He picks up pretty good yardage. He'll be short of a first down. He'll bring up 4th down, but a lot closer to that goal line after that run. Check the spot. And looks like it's at the 8.
Yep.
Yeah, 8 or the 9. He picked up 8 yards on the play. Brings up 4th and 5. Well, do they bring it on the field goal team? Let's check.
Let's see. Yep. they
Yeah,
are.
they sure are. Well, looks like the spot will be the 16, 26-yard field goal attempt. They're setting up for it, looks like. And it's Villatoro, the kicker. And the holder will be Ben Nolan. And if they succeed, they'll make it a 5-point game from 26 yards out. There's Villatoro's kick. Plenty of leg. This one's good. All right. 8:54 to play. 26-yard field goal by Hector Villatoro, rather.
So it's a 5-point lead. By
5-point lead. Hector Villatoro connects from 26 yards. Our score, 14-9.
Now what you like to see Culpeper do is get the ball and do a grinded-out drive. No penalties. Just pick up, you know, first down after first down. Make Fauquier use its timeouts and try to, you know, put this game away.
Well, Steve, I think it's limiting Fauquier to that field goal was a victory for the Blue Devil defense because Fauquier started that drive from their own 42. They had excellent field position and put the Blue Devils back on their heels a little bit when you're facing a team with outstanding field position, and then they held them to a field goal. So
Yeah.
really not a big loss for that Blue Devil defense.
But they can't get overconfident here. They, you know, Fauquier's going to come flying after this
Yeah.
football. So they've got to be able to, you know, to weather that storm and just be able to pick up. I think wait with the time. If Culpeper can get 3 first downs on this drive, they win this football game.
Well, we'll see. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. So Hector Villatoro has teed it up for the Falcons. Will there be an onside kick? I don't think you do that here, do you?
No. Too much
Play
time.
field position. Yeah, a lot of time. 8:54. Here's Villatoro's kick. This one's going to go out of bounds
220.
into the end zone. Brother, and a touchback to the 20-yard line. All right, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 540-547-3673. All right. Culpeper offense back on the field, Steve. They've shown us evidence that they have the ability to put things together and move methodically to some extent.
But what they can't do, Mark, is get lulled and just run. They got to run their offense like they've been doing in the second half. And so you might have to take a couple risks, but I think throwing the ball is you're not going to be able to just run against Fauquier.
Well, Khalid Murray is in the game behind Johnson. Damewood, the man in motion. Murray gets the call, and he goes straight ahead, runs into a stone wall, and pretty much stopped at the line of scrimmage.
See, that's what I don't want to see them do. Keep running, this short. They need to open it up a little bit, play action, freeze those linebackers, or go with a slant. You got sure-handed receivers, but you got to be picking up first downs. You can't afford to, punt this ball away and give Fauquier the momentum.
Well, Riley Vineyard will be back in that backfield. 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 20. 8 minutes, 15 seconds to play. 4th quarter action. Clock moving. Our score, Culpeper 14, Fauquier 9. Jeremiah Johnson, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Johnson throws. Quick strike far side. Got a receiver. First down yardage. Breaking the tackle was Butler. And he picked up a nice run after catch, Steve. And that's a big boost to this Blue Devil offense.
That's what he had to do right there. Just those short passes are better than a handoff.
Yeah.
It's sure you're going to get the ball and you'll be able to work into space like Butler just did.
Yeah, 13 yards on the play. And you've been calling that the short pass, the slant and everything. His 2nd catch of the night, netted 13 yards, a Blue Devil first down.
I know another thing would work as a screen pass because they haven't thrown it all game.
Vineyard's in the backfield with Jeremiah Johnson. Vineyard gets the call. Straight ahead he goes, protects the football, gets to the 35-yard line, picks up 2 yards. 2nd and 8 coming up. This broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons. More than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. Injured player down again, Stephen. This is the 2nd time we've called his. No, this is number 78, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's the 2nd time we've called his name. Aiden Hartman has gone down for the 2nd time here, and so don't know what's going on.
But what I wanted to say is on offense for Culpeper, you got to keep them guessing a little bit. That pass play is just as good as a handoff, and you want to be put in 3rd and short situations, or not 3rd and long. And, then you got a little more sense of urgency. So now it's 2nd and 7, and, maybe a good little play, pick up 5 or 6 yards. That puts you like in 3rd and 1. Then you can be able to convert. Yeah, he had his hand busted up last time, and his hand still is. I think his night's going to be done. He might have broke it this time. Who knows?
Yeah, Faulkier's got some size up front, don't they?
Yep. But they're not athletic. They're not, their size, they're big, but I don't see them making huge plays up in the middle. I see, their skill players are their defensive backs and linebackers.
Well, the knee-jerk reaction or inclination, you hear that somebody beat Liberty handily, you think, it must be pretty good. But Liberty is not what Liberty used to be.
No, they're not.
Nothing against Liberty or Fauquier, but I mean, you have to sort of gauge it by what a team has today, not what they've had traditionally. And so, Culpeper came in tonight with, certainly not intimidated. Riley Vineyard, the ball carrier, he gets behind that offensive line and gets a little bit of a push and surge forward.
So that's going to bring up about 3rd and.
Get out to about the 39. Give him 3 yards and bring up 3rd and 4. It looks like from there.
Yeah, now you got to really, Coach Sherry's got to dig into his playbook here. I still like maybe a little slant pass or maybe a little out curl or flanker screen.
You've got Caleb Green in the mix. You've got Garrett Damewood, Riley Vineyard, Dalton Butler. Who will they go to here on 3rd and 4? And this is, like you say, a critical downs ticket. You get the first down, you get 4 more downs, and the clock will be your ally.
Exactly.
Well, Vineyard's back there. I wonder if he's going to get the call here on 3rd and 4. Johnson sets him up. Damewood in motion. It is Vineyard straight ahead. Now, he's not going to get the first down. It's going to, actually now, the second effort push in the offensive line. Well, now Fauquier comes away with the football. They want to fumble.
Down by contact.
Gabe Rogers thought he had it, but Vineyard down by contact. He got enough
for
a Blue Devil first down.
Lucky break there, and there's no replay in high school. So they can't redo the spot or anything like that.
Well, he needed 4, and he picked up 5. And it was that second effort and that offensive line push that surged him forward enough for it. And, Again, a new set of downs, and the clock continues to run. Under 6 minutes to play here in this fourth quarter.
And let that play clock right there, let it run all the way down to like 2.
Mm-hmm. This is where you get into time management,
Yep.
and you're going to see how well they can excel in that department. 1st and 10 from the 44. Caleb Green, the ball carrier, looking for a little running room. Picked up 2 or 3 yards. Brings up 2nd and down about 7. 5:20 to go. Clock ticking. This broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200.
I think, Mark, if they can get a first down here, I think this game will be over because Faukier's got some timeouts, but
I'm trying to see how many they do have. It's not on the clock. From the 47 they go. Back to Vineyard. They're going to keep it conservative. They're trying to strip him of the football, but Vineyard does a really nice job of holding on. Bo Green tried to strip him of it and was unable to.
that brings up a 3rd and long, though, 3rd and 7. Now you're going to – I think you got to throw it here. I really do.
Got to be careful.
Yeah,
Last thing you want to pick. Now you got Dalton Butler, who's had a couple catches tonight.
Well, you got to make sure it's a high percentage throw and catch. And I liked where they lined up the trips out there, and just one receiver steps back, gets the ball, and he's got 2 blockers. But he's going to let this thing go under 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're approaching the 4-minute mark and counting, and now we've got 3rd and 7 for the Blue Devils. They're working the clock. They have the ball at their own 47-yard line.
They're going to call timeout.
And they do call a timeout, taken by the Blue Devils. Well, our timeout sponsor this season, of course, is UBA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and of the Culpeper community. UBACreditUnion.org. And, all right, Steve, if you're the coach right here, you're calling the offensive play. You're up by 5 points. You can't really afford a turnover. You've got 3rd and 7 from your own 47. Are you in a 2-down situation, or if you don't get the first down, you punt it and play the field position?
Well, you might be 2 down because a field goal does them no good. They can't win with a field goal.
Right.
So you might want to play the percentages here, but Fauquier, they can throw it too, and so they got that quarterback who's kind of shifty. So right here, I don't know, maybe you do a toss or option. I wouldn't go option. I would sit there maybe like just a short pass. I still like the slant pattern over the middle.
All right, let's see what Johnson dials up. He's got Vineyard behind him. It's going to be a pitch, and it's going to be a halfback toss down the field. This one's short, and it's picked off. Had a receiver out there. He just underthrew him, and coming away with the interception was number 3, Gabe Rogers.
But what happened is Culpeper the receiver saw it was going to be short. He should have acted and become a defensive back and knocked it out of his hands.
5 turnovers now for the Blue Devils, Steve.
I didn't like that play call, Mark. I really didn't think that was the play call. I think you got to go what's brought you this far. That was a short passing game, slants, quick outs, and then hitting up with the running game.
So Fauquier down by 5 points. They need a touchdown to win it. As Steve pointed out, field goal won't help them. 3 minutes and 44 seconds to work with, operating first from their own 35-yard line. This is Martin going to keep it, and he faked out a couple of players. He got into the open field and got out across the 40 to about the 41, and he was 1 tackle away from busting that one loose.
Yep, you got to play sound. You got to keep everybody in front of you. The clock's going to become their friend here.
Yeah, it's 2nd down and 6. The clock runs 3:15 and counting here in the 4th. Again, 14-9, 5-point advantage for the Blue Devils.
Problem is with Culpeper, you got short DB, so any ball's thrown in the air.
They're going to try to get some pressure on Martin. They throw near side. They got a receiver caught, breaks a tackle. That is number 9, Justin Clark. Blue Devil territory down at the 44-yard line. Picked up 15 yards on the pass play.
Yep, no clock or one on the signal.
All right, so Fauquier has it on the Culpeper 44. They need a touchdown. A touchdown would give them a 1-point lead.
Yep, they need to, Culpeper needs to come up with a turnover, come up with a big defensive stop here.
All right, let's see what they can come up with. Fauquier sends 2 receivers to the left. First down, here's Martin. This one is caught. The defender went for it and didn't get it. And making the catch was Brady Anderson. He picks up another Fauquier first down.
Yeah, the Culpeper defender tried to jump the route. Thought he might be able to get an interception, but he missed it. And now you got Fauquier down deep in Culpeper territory.
Picked up 19 yards on the pass play and a first down. Now the Falcons have it at the Blue Devil 25. 2:31 clock stopped after the first down catch. All right, here's Martin. Hand off. I believe this is Green. He breaks one tackle, spins his way. This is number 7. This is Tyrese Nquanko. Now, Fauquier, Steve, is really driving here. They've got plenty of time.
Yep, we got the ball in the 15. Culpeper.
This is where you just don't want to see a collapse.
Yeah, they worked so hard.
Yeah.
And now, like I said, they've got to really come up with a turnover here, come up with stops.
The Falcons are definitely on the move. They're in the red zone. They have it at the Blue Devil 15-yard line, 2:10 and counting. They can take their time. They need to score. This is Martin, and a nice tackle made out there by Caleb Green.
Yep.
They need about 3 more of those. As you pointed out, a field goal is not going to help them. They just got to keep them out of the end zone.
They just got to keep them out of the end zone.
All right.
Still running.
Picked up 2 yards is all. Second down and 10 from the 13. You're right. Clock continues to run. 1:40. Second down, 8 yards to go from the 13. Falcons need a touchdown. Blue Devils need a hold here to win this game. Here's Martin. Seems to have plenty of time. Pump fakes. Now he's going to keep it. Now he's going to run it. He gets away from one defender. Uh-oh. We might have a penalty flag coming in there because the defender, number 21, got a hold of that face mask. That was Tyler McKnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a face mask. Half the distance. Or no, it'll be. Is it going to be half the distance or is it going to be?
Yeah, he just sort of spun his head around like it was on a swivel.
Yep. Either that or it'd be a horse collar. Either one, but.
Here comes the call, personal foul.
So 15, is that going to put it down on the 2-yard line?
Wow. They're walking it off right now, Steve. You hate to see this happen to this Blue Devil defense.
They're going half the distance.
Yeah, so the ball's at, the 7? 5, 6, 7? Yeah,
Yep.
the 7-yard line. Wow, this is where it really comes down to it right here, doesn't it?
Yep.
So they move the ball down to the 8-yard line.
So first and goal from the 8.
After they come back after the timeout. Well, we mentioned our timeout sponsor is UBA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and the Culpeper community. UBACreditUnion.org. And we appreciate our sponsors, localsportshistory.com, Able Heating and Air, Battlefield Automotive, Found & Son, CFC Farm and Home Center, and our timeout sponsor, UBA Community Credit Union. Well, this has been a game, Steve, that has shown some glimpses of some good things the Blue Devils can do, but it's also been a game marred by turnovers, and they've got 5, and that last one really hurt them because they were driving. They just needed a first down to run the clock out. They threw the interception. Fauquier starts on their own 35. They've moved the ball down to the Culpeper 8. We've got 1:20 to play. Let's see if the Blue Devil defense can stiffen up here. That's Green in the Wildcat. Going to keep it. Green looking for additional yardage. Got inside the 5, down to about the 3. Caleb Green, Tyler McKnight came over to make the tackle for Culpeper.
Fauquier is going to know who called timeout. Looks like Culpeper might have.
And that's just it. I mean, if Fauquier scores, clock's running again, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, if Fauquier scores here, the Blue Devils are going to have very little time to do anything. Here's Green. Looking for the end zone. He's in from 3 yards out. And with 59.3 seconds remaining, Fauquier has regained the lead. It's 15-14.
Now, would you, if Fauquier, go for 2? Because you still have 59 seconds. Culpeper can still do something.
Well, if you go for 2 and get it, then a field goal will tie it, right?
Yep.
If you don't go for 2,
they'll be up. You know, if he goes for 1, it'll be 16-14.
A field goal would win it,
Yeah.
right? So a field goal wins it unless you go for 2 and get it, right?
Yep.
So I think they're going to line up for 2.
See, I'm going to be honest, Mark. I'm going to say that play call for halfback option pass, like it was, to me, was a bad call. Play call. That you had really 2 downs. You're in midfield. You were driving. You're only down 7 yards. You know,
you were down. Would you have 3rd and 7
Yep.
from like the 47?
Right.
Yeah.
And you try to get cute with it, and that's when those things come back to haunt you. I mean, I'm all about gimmick plays, but there are times for them in the game when you do them. There, you overthrew the ball, and again, then the defender, the receiver did not become the defender and just let the Fauquier player just catch it.
Yeah, I thought he underthrew the ball. Look, the
He
receiver
did.
was actually open.
Right.
If it had been a good pass, he might have got it, but then the defender saw it was short, and as you
you're
said,
right.
you have to come back and play defender when you're the receiver,
When
right?
you see that, you got to come back and play defensive back.
Yeah.
Even if you hit him before the ball got there, the worst is you get a penalty, but you're still operating 3rd down.
This is one that, let's see what happens here. The 2-point try. Where's the camera? It's caught in the end zone. Number 3, Gabe Rogers. They had a little razzle-dazzle going there, and Johnny was trying to catch up with him, and then we caught up with Gabe Rogers when he makes the 2-point, and that was a good call. Now it's 17-14. A field goal will tie it.
See, that's where maybe a gimmick worked, because Culpeper, why didn't they call time? They looked like, I'd be going, hey, wait a minute. The line's over here, and you got a center in the quarterback over there by himself. You know right then and there something's coming. And if I was Culpeper, I would have called timeout right there.
Well, Fauquier, they started this drive at their own 35. They were able to move the ball down the field and really do something with it. And I really felt like there's a chance for that Culpeper defense to stiffen up and turn them back. But now you've got, 59 seconds. Your team needs a good return on special teams as kickoff. And you got to try to get yourself in position to go for the tie.
You go for the tie, or if you can get a run back here. But I feel bad for the Culpeper players. They played a whale of a ball game. I just think that was a bad call there in the 4th quarter. I think it just should have been a more conventional play there, and Culpeper could be coming out of here with a win.
Well, it's certainly one that when it doesn't work, it'll make you question maybe why. But it had the makings to work.
It did. But it's still, I wouldn't have made that call there.
All right, Hector Villatoro. Kickoff for Fauquier. This one is going to be returned from about the 20. I believe this is Murray on the return. Nicely done. He gives his team good field position. He got across the 35. That's number 20, rather, for Culpeper, Steve. That's Richie Cannon.
Yeah, I thought he was going to break it out of there.
So good field position.
Well, they're going to have to, like I said, they're going to need to at least get to Fauquier's 20-yard line for any sense of a field goal try.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And even then, you're 20, 27, 37-yard field goal attempt. That's not.
Now, here's where you dial up your gadget plays, okay? Mm-hmm. This is what I'm thinking.
3 receivers to the right. Jeremiah Johnson. Here comes the pressure from Green. And looks like an incomplete pass intended for Dalton Butler. 2nd and 10 coming up. 48.6 seconds to play. And remember, the Falcons have a 3-point lead, 17-14.
I still think if they would just use play action, freeze those linebackers, send Caleb Green and Butler on a go route, Green on a slant, and maybe you'll get chunks of yardage right in midfield. But I don't know what Culpeper's timeout situation is. But they might have 2.
I think they have 2. They get 3. They've used 1. Johnson over the middle. He's got a receiver caught. Breaks the tackle down to the 35 of Fauquier. That's number 7, Gavin Alvarado.
What did I say, Mark?
Yep.
Slant patterns there is wide open. And
Yeah.
the clock stops till they set the change. There's no sense of urgency right here.
29-yard pickup on the pass play from Johnson to Alvarado. Blue Devils call a timeout. I believe that leaves them with 1.
Leaves it with 1. And you're going to need that to try for the field goal. Or you're going to have to attempt some passes on the sideline. But you got 1 timeout here, so if you get a first down, clock stops, move the chains. Now you might hear them, wait, you got 41 seconds. They're going to be looking, Faulkner's going to be looking for the pass. Here's where you might want to do like a draw play or something like that and get more yardage down there. You got plenty of time. You got a timeout to work with.
Well, your offensive line is so important right here.
Yep, and Fauquier's defense line's tired. Look at them. They
Yep.
are tired.
Right, and they had the one player go down twice.
Yeah.
I think he's back on the field for them, though. Big number 78. All right, here's Johnson. He's going to swing it to Danewood. He makes 1 tackler miss. He's at the 30, 25, pushed out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard lines. And more importantly, stops the clock.
Stops the clock, moves the chain.
35 seconds to play. He got to the 24. That was a pickup of 10 yards by Garrett Danewood. But I'll tell you how he did it. He had to make that first guy miss, and
Yep.
he did.
Yep. Yeah, see, they put 78 back there. He's a big boy and, beef up there. But right now, they're tired.
So now the Blue Devils have 1st and 10 from the Falcons' 24-yard line. 35 seconds remaining. Johnson rolls to his right. Here comes Green. Throwing downfield. He's caught. Misses Dalton Butler at the 4-yard line. And he caught that in traffic, Steve.
Yep, but you're going to be called back because it looks like it's going to be a hold against
Oh,
Culpeper.
not too good.
There's a flag down.
You see that yellow flag in that offensive backfield. That's
Ooh, that
usually
was
what
motion.
you get.
We see the.
It's
Yeah.
holding.
Yep.
And that can break your heart.
Yep.
But Butler brought that one in inside the 5-yard line, and they were in business.
It's 10 yards, not a 15-yard, is it?
I think it's 10.
10.
Yeah.
Well,
Push
you-
it back, I think, to the 34. Let's see where they have.
I didn't think that was a holding call, but
Well, they haven't even put the ball down yet.
did they decline it?
No, I don't. He hasn't marked it off yet. Everybody was ready, but the official.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's right there. It's going to be.
Yeah, it was at the 24, so it's back to the 34 on the 10-yard assessment. But now you're down to 28 seconds, and now the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
So time is certainly urgent here. Johnson throwing downfield.
Yes!
Caught! Number 7. It's Gavin Alvarado. Do you see the yellow laundry down, Steve?
No, I do not.
34 yards from Johnson to Alvarado.
Touchdown, Blue Devils!
20.
Jeremiah Johnson to Alvarado. What a play. What a catch. He just.
Well, that was the second big catch he made in this drive. You know, he was the one that put him in position.
And this Fauquier crowd is stunned.
And how do you not though see that and temper your enthusiasm first by looking for yellow laundry on the field? And you didn't see any, then you could be exuberant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you go for the point after, or they're going to go for 2.
Well, there's Saul Acevedo's on out
Well,
there.
you just
for the
go
point.
for 1 because it'd be, if you miss. Now Faulquier's going to have 15 seconds to try to get it. And they got a good kicker, so you got to make this.
Well, Acevedo, he connects this. That means Fauquier would need a touchdown in the last 15 seconds to win this game. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick. Up and good. 24, or 21 rather, to 17.
Now.
Yeah, it was 17-14, and there was some late moment heroics I tell you, this Gavin Alvarado stepped up,
He
caught
stepped
two
up.
big passes. Dalton Butler had a great catch. They brought it back for the holding. But this is where you think the Blue Devils might fold here, but they didn't. They came up with a big play.
They didn't. And see, in what they used, Caleb Green and Vineyard as basically decoys on that, and because Alvarado had man-to-man coverage where the other two receivers on the other side, they were being doubled. So great throw though.
Yeah.
And Alvarado just went up and high pointed it.
Well, if the Blue Devils hold on here, they're going to have to savor this victory for
Yep.
at least over the weekend, right? I mean, it's got to be really good for this program.
Oh yeah, it's going to give them a whale of confidence coming in now to George Mason, going up to Meridian.
Right.
Used to be George Mason. Again, they used to be old single A school, but now you come in 1-1. You got some confidence. Now, here's what I would do in a kickoff. I would not want to send it you don't want to pooch it. You want to squib it down here and make them pick it up. But I wouldn't do a pooch and give them ball midfield. They got too good of a field goal kicker.
Yeah, and they got some
Well,
athletes.
no, it's a 4 point. You're right.
4 point. Yeah, they have to have a touchdown. But how far do you want to make them go to get it? So that's what you're talking about in terms of directing your kick.
And what's the official ain't giving the ball yet?
They've been playing a little bit of keep away, haven't they?
Yep.
Everybody's ready with the official.
I
Then they give
mean,
the ball.
Culpeper's sideline when Fauquier scored was deflated. Now I'm looking at Fauquier's sideline, and Fauquier's hoping for a 15.6-second miracle.
Well, anything's possible. But you got to like the Blue Devils' chances here as a penalty flag comes in. Maybe delay of game.
Delay.
No, you're gonna have to. No, he said there was a flag down.
Yep. How was there a delay when the referee took forever to get the ball?
Was it a delay of game?
Can't be a delay of game on a kickoff.
Right. No, that wasn't the same. What is the?
But the official is the one who held the ball. If I was Coach Sherry, I'd be going, what are you doing?
Give us the ball.
Yeah.
We'll kick it.
See, look, that official right there held the ball, and this official threw it. What is it? It couldn't have been offsides. He did a delay.
It couldn't be a delay of game
Yeah, I
because the
know,
clock
so
wasn't
the
running,
clock
right?
wasn't running.
Ball came off the tee there. Acevedo puts it back.
Well, see, now they're moving up. Now's when I nail it. See how they're moving up here?
See where they kick it
Yeah.
straight down the middle of the field. Getting under it at the 15-yard line. Across the 30, breaks a tackle, makes a cut. Tackled shy of the 40 was the return man there. Number 3, Gabe Rogers. He had that 2-point conversion catch.
Got 7 seconds here, boys. Just make sure you make a tackle.
Mm-hmm. And don't give up the big play.
Yep.
So
They're going to go with the gadget play. You know they are. Watch out for the hook and ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? This would be a good time to run it. If I was Coach Sherry, I'd be telling your defense, watch the hook and ladder. Because if they throw it out short to that wide out, they're going to have somebody coming right behind them. Be ready for it.
Well, they could go halfback option too,
Yep.
But how much time do you have? I mean, how many plays? 1, maybe 2. 7.1 seconds.
7.1. You gotta make a play down towards the end zone. You don't have much time. Basically, this is it.
You got to make a play downfield, get out of bounds for another play.
Yep.
Maybe 2 strikes to try to get into that end zone. 2 aerial strikes.
Yeah, I mean, they're right now got the ball at their own 39-yard line. And if I was Culpeper, I'd be putting everybody defensively back, except for the rush 3. Put everyone back deep. Do not let them get behind you.
The deepest man back there for Culpeper is Caleb Green.
And he's going to guide them back there, but here they are. So watch for these gadget play here.
All right. Here's Martin. 7 seconds. He's able to wind up, throw downfield, caught! Near the 10-yard line. Can you believe it? His time is running out.
It's out.
Yeah, that was big Bo Green, number 11. makes a great catch, and then they run out of time.
They run out of time.
And that's the way this one's going to end, Steve. And you see the Blue Devils celebrating for good reason. Well, what a thrilling game we had a chance to call. And Culpeper really overcame those 5 turnovers to get this big win tonight.
They did, man. I thought for a second, I was looking up in that clock. Is there any time you got all the way down to 15? But it was in, like I said, 7.1. The ball hung up in the air at least 3 seconds. So.
Well, our final score, this was a thriller here tonight.
Sure was.
Yeah, I mean, hope you enjoyed the broadcast. I know we enjoyed delivering it to you, and we had a lot of, despite the turnovers, we had some big moments. And I tell you, late in the game, Gavin Alvarado came through with a couple of clutch catches, didn't he?
Yep.
And
sure
you had the
did.
running of Riley Vineyard. Jeremiah Johnson threw the ball well late in the game when you needed to. Dalton Butler made a couple of nice catches. And you had some good solo tackles made these Blue Devil defenders tonight. Am I leaving out anything?
No, you just summarized it pretty good. So,
All right.
Big win, though, for the Blue Devils.
All right. Well, next week, Culpeper will be at Meridian High School, the former George Mason High School in Falls Church, Virginia. We will be at Cyclone Stadium as the Cyclones entertain the Blackhawks of Brook Point. Well, once again, go ahead.
I said Brook Point's got a good team this year.
Yeah, we've mentioned they do. Well, once again, our final score from Fauquier High School is Culpeper 21, Fauquier 17. For Johnny and Steve, I'm Mark O'Connell saying thanks for watching and supporting Blue Devils football here on the Culpeper Media Network. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next Friday from Cyclone Stadium.
This broadcast is made possible by the following community sponsors. Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Found in Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found in Sons. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. LocalSportsHistory.com is the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at LocalSportsHistory.com. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home.